Hi guys, so today we're going to talk about prokaryotic transcriptional regulation. There are actually 4 different modes of regulation, but we're just going to be talking about positive repressible. So what does this exactly mean? Well, positive means that the protein responsible for regulation, which is called an activator, it binds to DNA and it activates transcription in DNA. Repressible means that usually transcription is on, but when a small molecule, which is also called an effector, is present, transcription is turned off. And I'm going to show you how this works. Here's a simple display of how this works. So the activator will bind to the promoter region, which allows RNA polymerase to bind, and it goes along and transcribes the DNA. Here's an analogy I've put together. So pretend DNA is a railroad track, a toy railroad track, and RNA polymerase is the toy train, and the activator is electricity, and the promoter is the electrical box. Electricity binds to the electrical box, and this allows for the train to move along the tracks and, in our case, transcribe DNA. The DNA it's transcribing are structural genes, which, as the name implies, they play a structural role in the cell, or they can be used in the metabolism. So what happens when the small molecule comes into play? In our analogy, I'm going to use water as the small molecule. The small molecule will interact with the electricity, and it renders it unable to bind. So the train doesn't go along the tracks, so DNA doesn't get transcribed. Here's a sample problem. So the scenario is in the movie Titanic. The Titanic ship crashes into an iceberg. In this scenario, Jack and Rose living happily ever after represents DNA being transcribed. The ship is the activator and the iceberg is the small molecule. So this means if Jack and Rose get on the ship, they live happily ever after. But if the iceberg comes into contact with the ship and binds, Jack and Rose don't get a happy ending. AKA, the activator binds and DNA gets transcribed, but if the small molecule comes along, DNA is not transcribed.